Welcome back, Tribe. Got a couple clips here basically showing the evolution of women in all the dating phases. So we'll start with this single era crash out. Let's get into it.
You guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do.
Roster, first mistake.
I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25.
They're becoming self-aware. At 25, no less. They're becoming self-aware to the consequences of feminism and hypersexualization. This is the hookup culture. They were pushing this for the past 20 years heavily on everybody. Sex in the City, all the movies. We've seen it all. We understand where it leads. Hitting the wall at 30. At least they're waking up 25 and feeling existential dread is a massive come up compared to like 15 years ago where they thought they had the world and all the time in it. And they would wake up with these realizations at 40. They're 25 now and they're learning. We are penetrating the minds of millions. When we speak about this stuff, the existential dread, it cannot be avoided. They knew something was wrong, but the propaganda, the veil was so thick around their faces that they could not tell the truth from lie. So when you have online manosphere stuff, red pill content, dating coaches, whatever the fuck you want to call it, when you scroll through social media, women are seeing these and they're either rolling their eyes and choosing to ignore the reality, or the little seed is planted where they, there's congruency with the deepest inner thoughts that they have. Like, oh shit, it is true. I think I am wasting my time. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Funny how we're arriving there.
Having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things. But people don't want that nowadays, it feels. It feels like no matter, it's like, what is this dating stuff? What is Hinge? What is Tinder? What is all of this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder. And it's like, I hated it. I ended up deleting my Hinge, and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's just like I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there like a magazine going through like clothing. That's what it feels like. And it's like, I don't want that. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
So this represents the single at 25 age. They're waking up. And then I have another funny clip here that it made me laugh because of the conversation I had with my woman after this clip. Let's just get into it. This is a married woman and a man, and this is what feminists will tell you that they want. This is the new age male. Nice, soft. Shares his feelings.
This is a safe space, Corey and Lulu. What's on your heart?
What's on my heart? I want my man to fuck me. Fuck. I got the ring, all right? I don't need to make love. He's just very nice. Every morning, he leaves like little
I want to believe this is a skit, but it is a real issue that people are dealing with.
Post-it notes. He gives me compliments. I love you. You so nice. What do you need? Do you want lunch? Do you want dinner? Did you eat today? Did you drink water? I drank fucking water, okay?
That's good. You're hydrated. I want you to stay hydrated. Isn't that a good thing?
He communicates every feeling, every thought. Stop touching me. Everything that he has in his heart, he has to tell me 24/7.
She's good.
He's overly communicative. He's always reflecting on fucking thoughts. Reflect on this pussy.
Why?
So what's interesting about that clip is like it made me laugh really hard. I woke up and that was like the first thing I saw. And I shared it with my woman. I was like, what do you think about this? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, what do you think about, because women in the West say they want a soft, gentle man who's like very feminine in his nature and like shares his feelings. And she's like, we don't want that here. And I started laughing. I was like, yeah, but that's what the feminists in the West say. And what made me really laugh is she's like, I don't need my man to communicate anything, just the important things. And I was like, so you don't care about your man's feelings? And then she just started laughing. She's like, And I started laughing because I was like, you see, this is real nature from women. This is what it's really like. You think your grandfather got a woman so she could help him manage his emotions? Do you think your great grandfather gave a fuck, like looked for a woman to complete him in that sense? I need you guys to understand, like, this is the real reality, the true nature of women. They don't care about a man's feelings. Don't cry in front of your woman ever. We know why. You don't share your problems with your woman. They don't give a fuck. They really don't. My woman cares, just like every other woman cares, that you handle your business and take care of shit because you're a man and that's your job. You include her in making big decisions like where to live, buying a house, shit like that. You take in her input and then you make the final decision. It makes her feel like she's a part of the process. Great. But your emotions and your feelings and insecurities, that's for the boys. That's for the ones you can trust who could live in your shoes and have real empathy, not sympathy. Your woman doesn't sympathize with you. You're a man. You're in the power position. They hate weak leadership the way men hate weak leadership. And for the guys that are in this kind of Disney mentality where you're looking for a woman to complete you, or you think like if you just got a woman, it would make you happy, you have to understand this. No single person can make you happy. Women can never make you happy if you are not happy already. You understand? Women do not build something in your life. They only add to it or take away. That's it. All a woman can do is add to a man's life or take away, but they can't construct. They can't build. If you're an unhappy fuck, a woman will make you slightly unhappier, or I should say very much so more unhappy, or slightly happier. That's it. A little less unhappy, or very much so more unhappy, right? She can't actually make you happy if you're already baseline an unhappy fuck, a miserable fuck, a whatever. If you have issues, those issues stay with you. People are only plus and minuses in somebody's life. Okay, they could only add or subtract, but they cannot equal. A woman does not equal happiness. A woman can add to your happiness or subtract from your happiness. This goes with people in general. So there's a lot of men out there that are living lives where they feel they're unhappy or for whatever reason, things aren't going the way they want, and they think getting a woman will solve their problems. Or going traveling like these travel addicts, like, oh, if I just need to go travel and my problems go away. Wherever you go, there you are. You take your problems with you. If you get into a relationship with a woman and you have problems, the only thing she can do is maybe minimize them a little bit or amplify all of them, depending if you have the right woman or not. That's it. You have to solve the you problem first before you get a woman, because she's not the one that's going to play Mr. Fix-It and change everything wrong going on in your life. I wish more guys understood that, because so many dudes equate having a woman with like all their problems getting solved. Life is like infinitely better. And then you end up in these relationships where guys are messing everything up. And then you end up with relationships with women like this. Like a great segue into this is like the third clip here that we're going to finish this off with is divorcing a woman that's regretting divorcing her husband. And this is a common story in the United States because this works on the flip side with women too. Women think men should make them happy. But if you get with an unhappy woman who expects you to be the source of her happiness, you're going to end up being in a miserable relationship. This is why it's so important to vet people and make sure they're stable on their own, because so many people are dependent on others for a temporary feeling. If you depend on a woman for happiness, you're going to have a very miserable fucking life. There's a wrong source of happiness, my friend. Ask any man that did that. They'll tell you.
So just tell your partner you're thankful. Even if you're mad at them today, tell them you're thankful. Do not take the things they do for you for granted. Family is the most important thing. In your marriage, your partnership, your relationship is the root of your family. It's the heart of your family. And I would do anything to have mine back. I don't want to be at work. I don't want to work one job, much less two. And then they say, what does your husband do? And I say, doesn't matter. It sucks. I just want to say something. If you're a parent and you have a partner at home who loves you and your kids and helps take care of you in any way, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, however it may be, They contribute to you and your family and your kids. Just thank them. Just say thank you. Remind them how grateful you are. Remind them how amazing they are. Because I would give anything to have someone at home to love me and support me. I've been the working parent. I've been the part-time working parent. I've been the stay-at-home mom and wife. And now I'm the single mom working 2 jobs. And I miss my kids, but I have to pay my bills. So just tell your partner you're thankful. Even if you're mad at them today, tell them you're thankful. Do not take the things they do for you for granted. Do things for them. Do things with your kids, for your kids. Family is the most important thing. In your marriage, your partnership, your relationship is the root of your family. It's the heart of your family. And I would do anything to have mine back.
Well, you shouldn't have been on TikTok. Problem number 1, you shouldn't have been listening to strangers online. Problem number 2. And problem number 3, you should have cut off all your single friends that are being degenerates in the streets. You see, women bring this upon themselves. We've said it so many times. Life is not the internet. There are real consequences for your actions. Now, for that woman and plenty of others that we've seen, they're going to keep making the same mistakes. And maybe through all these videos that start flooding social media, women are starting to get a glimpse and peering behind the veil, like I said. And maybe they start to realize like, oh shit, we got sold a lie. Just like how so many men are waking up and understanding they got sold a lie, especially the young ones that are moving far to the right, hardline right, becoming extremely conservative. Young men are now going to church at higher rates than their parents. This is the first time in history since we started tracking this in our secular societies where the young people are the ones attending church more than their family. That just tells you how degenerate society has become, what we're dealing with on a cultural scale, that people feel everything is so broken, so rotten, so hedonistic, so selfish, so empty, that they rather turn to God and the church for answers because society provides them with nothing but worse outcomes. We're not having kids. We're no longer getting married. Men and women can't stand each other. Women are cutting their breasts off. Men are cutting their dicks off. Men are trying to act like women. Women are trying to act like men. Everything is inverted in this world. And people want normalcy. People want to go back to tradition, to normal times, where it worked, where people had defined roles, where they were all rooted in biological reality. Women like certain things, men like certain things. Let's keep those things separate. Stop forcing people into each other's spaces. Stop putting unrealistic expectations on women to behave like men and on men to behave like women. We're different. That's okay. That should be empowering. It shouldn't be empowering to force a woman to act like a man and slave away at a corporation and, forego having children so late that it becomes a permanent consequence. That she can no longer bear babies because she was a cuck for a corporation, a number. She had no impact. The company doesn't care, probably lays her off just for an H-1B visa Indian anyways. And it's game over for her entire life. She gave it to a corporation instead of a family, a man that would love her. Same shit for men. Stop telling them to be sensitive. Stop telling them to be all in their feelings. This is why we have so many school shooters. This is why we have so many trans shooters recently. This is why so many men are committing self-deletion at like 10x the rates of women. I don't even know, 10 or 11 times. I know the rates are insane. The numbers are exploding. We have so many men turning into recluses, pulling back from society because society doesn't teach them how to be men, how to use their emotions, their rage, their anger as fuel, point it in a positive direction. Utilize your body. You're a physical creature. You need to go hit some bags. You need to go run really hard until it feels like your lungs are going to pop. You need to go do something physically exhausting. We're all animals. We got little batteries internally, and you need to drain it every day to feel relaxed, at ease, to have the depression held at bay, the anxiety at bay. You can't calm an animal by letting all this built up energy constantly overflowing out of you while sitting down playing video games 10 hours a day, jacking off 50 million times a day, watching anime reruns like it's seasons after seasons after seasons. and the energy is just oozing out of you, and you have no real escape hatch for it. You're just constantly coping with something that's easy, within reach, a controller, your dick, or an anime subscription. This is why men are starting to break down. And this is why you're seeing women break down on their end for all the things that they're doing. We're not living natural lives. This is like the mouse utopia experiment. These are all behavioral sinks that we're seeing. We're watching society collapse as was predicted in the mouse utopia experiments. You get too many people in one place, they start to exhibit psychological behavioral sinks, deficiencies, malformations. They start acting weird. They start having weird thoughts. They start living lives that are counter to the health of themselves. And then they usher in their own destruction. This is why you see people in the city. Cities aren't natural places to live. They're very congested. Noise pollution is everywhere. Pollution in general. It stinks. It smells like shit. It's crowded as fuck. Stressful as hell. And then that causes a low level of anxiety and stress within a human being. That's why people feel at ease and so relaxed when they're out in nature on a hike, for example. When you're just sitting there in the middle of nowhere listening to water run down a stream where the leaves are blowing in the wind and the sun is hitting your skin, why does it feel like all your problems go away? And it's almost like, damn, I feel like I belong here. Because you do. You're an animal. That's the exact place we came from. We used to live outdoors all the time. Now we're surrounded by fake lights, little enclosed rooms, no fresh air running, no sun on your skin, nothing. Your body is atrophying away, wasting. Your senses don't get used like they should. This is the human condition that's breaking down, the stressed animal, if you will, that will not reproduce. I think you're going to see in the future that people are going to start turning their backs on, just like people are going into religion more and more, people are going to turn their backs onto modernity. Living this modern life is toxic. That's going to be the next wave in the next 20 years. Modern life is toxic. Retreat to the countryside. Work digitally or remotely on the internet. That's going to take over the world in the next 20 years. Offices are on the way out. We're all going to be doing Zoom and shit like that. And then people are going to say, let's start these small scale communities with friends and family and maybe other like-minded individuals and live in little communes spread out everywhere. Because the city is where you go to die spiritually. Slowly, death by 1,000 cuts. They take your mind, they take your body, they take everything from you, including your wallet. It's super expensive to live in the city. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the next 20 years. I have a good feeling that AI and all this stuff that's coming down the pipe will accelerate all of this. And we're just in the middle of a transformation. That's why everything is so unstable and shaky foundationally. It feels like society is being uprooted and there's a lot of change happening beneath the surface because it is. Because we're watching it happen. Anyways, appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Everybody that's in the private community. All the guys joining to make Faceless YouTube work for themselves. So you could be potentially in that remote scenario and live off grid if you'd like. And shout outs to everybody that's been getting gear, all the hats. Appreciate you guys. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.